in terms of a legacy, you know, subhanAllah, how often do you see someone who passes away and suddenly they're celebrated online and you say, what an extraordinary person, but it was a very ordinary person, or they were treated like very ordinary people while they were alive. You know, there's one manifestation of this. The Prophet ﷺ said that a person could be ash'ath, aghbar, dusty, disheveled, turned away from people's doors, لو أقسم على الله لأبره. But if they took an oath upon Allah, Allah would honor that oath. And he pointed specifically to Al-Bara ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, the brother of Anas radiyallahu anhu. And I spoke about Al-Bara radiyallahu anhu a few nights ago, an incredible human being, subhanAllah. But he'd be looked at funny in a gathering. Who are you? Whereas his brother Anas radiyallahu anhu would give the long lectures of the Shama'il of the Prophet ﷺ and the Ahadith. Legacy is not about fame, and we conflate the two. And we wait for someone to rise to the ranks of either being recognized as extraordinary in life or death to suddenly celebrate. And the reality is that there are a lot of extraordinary people around you that you may be treating as ordinary, including yourself. Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu says Allah has hidden two within two. He's hidden His awliya, He's hidden His close friends amongst His servants, so you don't know which one of them is a servant of Allah. A wali of Allah, a friend of Allah. And He has hidden His pleasure within His good deeds, so you don't know which good deed is going to give you the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the person who is indeed a wali of Allah, may Allah make us from His awliya, specific friends of God, they strive and strive and strive. They always feel deficient. Now, the last thing I'll say with this in terms of legacy, and I've said this before, legacy is not how you're remembered, legacy is how you're resurrected. If you can remember this, legacy is not how you're remembered. Legacy is how you are resurrected. When the Prophet ﷺ was going through the night of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, out of all people he smelled this beautiful perfume, and he said to Jibreel alayhi salam, what is that smell? And he said, that is the hairdresser of the daughter of Fir'aun. Sounds very random, right? The hairdresser of the daughter of Fir'aun. This is a night where the Prophet ﷺ is meeting Ibrahim alayhi salam and Isa alayhi salam and Musa alayhi salam and Yusuf alayhi salam. And he smells who? The hairdresser of the daughter of Fir'aun. What's her story? She was combing the hair of the daughter of Fir'aun. She dropped the comb. When she dropped the comb, she said, Bismillah. And the daughter of Fir'aun said, you mean my father? She said, no, you're Allah. Your father's Lord, my Lord, your Lord, the Lord of the worlds, Allah. And Fir'aun murdered her. I'm paraphrasing this in a nasty way. And you know, imagine when she was put out there to be thrown into a ditch of fire with her children at that time, who's going to remember this woman? Who's going to remember this woman? To be mentioned in the highest heavens in a conversation between the Prophet ﷺ and Jibreel alayhi salam, because her scent was overwhelming, even in that occasion, is a sign that there are going to be many people like that. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala count us all amongst them, who were not known in this world but are celebrities in the heavens. And subhanAllah, you know, I talk a lot about my mother, may Allah have mercy on her. My mother was the absolute inspiration for everything that I do. Behind everything that I do that is of khair. And most people would not know her. People come up to me now and say, listen to that lecture about your mother, listen to that lecture about your mother. But if I didn't do that lecture and talk about her, you might have assumed she was just another person. But the reality is that she was the most influential person in my life. And if I can ask, Brother Khuram, are you here? Can you come to the stage if you're here? Brother Khuram, the father of Sister Amani. You here, Brother Khuram? Can you identify yourself? Can you just walk to the front? Where are you, Brother Khuram? I didn't tell him I was going to do this. So and I apologize, Mashaykh. I feel like I walked into like a meme and I'm like, I don't belong between you two, mashallah. Like that guy that got photoshopped in the middle. Like, too much nur here, Anwar. Allah bless you both. I should have warned you. Oh, yeah. I want to talk a bit, inshallah. how many of you have heard of Sister Amani Liaqat? What is the name of the channel?
Fight for Amani.
Fight for Amani.
Yeah.
Brother Khuram is here with his wife, Sister Yasmin, and his daughter Ruqayya, and Maliha is not here. And Amani, may Allah have mercy on her, passed away within a year, was an incredible human being, an incredible young woman. And inshallah ta'ala, we're going to honor her tonight, bidnillahi ta'ala. Amani left a huge legacy. Can you imagine, subhanAllah, as she was passing away and she's inspiring the world through her brain cancer, she still chose to do a podcast after all treatment had been withdrawn, and she knew that she was going to die. And if that's not someone who wants to touch the world and guide people and leave a legacy, then I don't know what is. She could have easily rolled over and been hopeless, and her family could have done the same. But they used those moments, subhanAllah, to inspire us, and her family continues to inspire. So can we give a massive takbir for them? And a round of applause for them as well. Clapping is fine for them as well, inshallah ta'ala.
Thank you so much.
May Allah have mercy on her, and may Allah make it easy for your family. And you can say anything that you want to about Amani right now, inshallah.
Jazakallah. I mean, Amani was, our firstborn and a complete inspiration to us all. And life was good. Life was good. She was born healthy. And on her 22nd birthday, she just collapsed with a massive seizure. It was the beginning of lockdown, so we weren't allowed in hospital with her. Received a phone call. Can you imagine, from your doctor, 1 minute you're preparing, she's in her adulthood, she's about to get married, and the next day you get a phone call saying, sorry, your daughter's got 12 to 18 months to live. I mean, we're completely devastated, completely devastated. And Amani, being the person she was, turned something bad into something good, started a podcast, reached out to the community and wanted to make a difference. And I still don't know how. Somehow, through her creating awareness, I received a private Twitter message from dear Omar Suleiman saying, I've heard about your daughter's story from the US. What can I do to help you all? And I just want to point out that it was a private message. And the dear Imam, spent time and counseled my daughter over the phone privately. And my daughter said, I want to share the information you're telling to make a difference for all the other young people who are suffering from cancer as a dawah, and to help and say, look, there's whatever darkness there is, there's light there. And that's how the podcast began. And dear Imam, spent a long time with my daughter so this podcast could be created. And you can follow her on her Fight for Amani YouTube channel. The video is there. It'll be beneficial for all the young children here. Create a legacy, that's what this is all about. And the true test for me for whether somebody is sincere or not is not when they do things publicly, it's when they do privately. And I can say this, and I know the dear Imam, he didn't ask any of this to be made public. He approached my family privately, and mashallah, he's given his time to us, and may Allah reward him. And I'm hoping, inshallah, that through the work that my daughter did with the Imam, that inshallah this will be a sadaqah for her in the hereafter. And we receive thousands of messages on our Instagram channel about how Amani has changed other people's lives, Muslims and non-Muslims, how they've looked at her story and they have been inspired a bit, and they're saying, well, our problems are nothing like Amani's. But still, despite this, you've drawn closer to Allah, and we are now going to, as a result of you, draw closer to Allah. So really, that's the message, is that wherever there's darkness, there's still light, because we're Muslims. Thank you very much, Imam.
Barakallahu feekum. May Allah have mercy on her. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept her as a shaheeda, as a martyr. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you and your family beautiful patience and a beautiful reward, and join you with your beautiful daughter in the most beautiful of places.
Thank
once
you,
again,
Imam.
all of
Thank
us.
you so much.
Jazakumullah khair.
Thank you,
Ameen.
everyone. Jazakallah. Thank you so much, Imam.